We are live. Great. So Brian is in the backstage and I am live. And we are also recording this to share it later with those that were not able to make it. Okay, so let me share my screen. And there we go. Plan smarter for 2026. Discover how personalized video delivers ROI, return on investment. So, hi everyone, and welcome. I'm Josías De La Espada. For those that do not know me yet, now we are kind of connected. So, thank you for joining me today. And let me give you some context before we continue. So, I live in the countryside, up in the mountains, and actually today is a really beautiful day. And um, recently, a friend offered me a grass cutting machine, and it was tempting, but it had a cable. Now here in the mountains, and you'll see how all the dots are connected in just a moment. Here in the mountains, with uneven terrain and huge weeds, that kind of tool is useless. The cable would get stuck, the weeds would jam it, and it would probably break after just a few hours. In our old house, with a small garden right by the door, that tool would have been perfect. In this new context, it simply doesn't fit the job. And that's how I see marketing in 2026. I know we are still in 2025, but 26 is just there around the corner. Think about it for just a moment. The cable is a limitation. Even the hype around AI. The weeds are the noise marketing teams face when targeting their very busy audiences. The tools and tactics that once worked, mass emails, generic videos, vanity metrics, don't get through the noise anymore. The reality is that audiences today expect relevance, emotion, and context. And also, CFOs and leadership aren't asking for more activity. They are demanding results they can trust. Now, if somehow this feels like familiar to your scenario, drop a yes in the chat or comments. Basically, if you have ever felt like your marketing, your communications, or your customer engagement tools just don't fit the job anymore, regardless if you're seeing this from watching us from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and so on. That's what today's webinar is about. How you plan smarter for 2026 with strategies, and especially with AI-powered personalized video that actually deliver ROI in the middle of all that noise. Sounds like a plan? Wonderful. All right, so let's talk about the reality we are all facing. Here's the thing: budgets have finally come back. In fact, Gartner reported not long ago an increase in budget allocation for 2026, and that's good news. But here's the catch: bigger budgets now come with stricter accountability. A lot of companies have already wasted a lot of money in innovation projects powered by AI, for example. However, CFOs and CEOs are clear, and it makes complete sense. Every dollar has to show impact. In our case, every euro, because we are based in Europe, has to show impact. That means the CFO is now your copilot. Every plan, every campaign, every channel needs clear impact, needs to answer the question, how will this generate pipeline, retention, or renewals? At the same time, customers are harder to engage. For example, McKinsey tells us 76% of people get frustrated when brands don't deliver personalized experience. And yet, most marketing teams today still offer generic marketing messages, even with all this AI revolution. Think about PDFs that get ignored, nurture emails that get deleted, even videos that feel one size fits all. And this is the tension for 2026. Leadership wants ROI proof. Audiences want relevance. But many teams are still stuck using tools and tactics that no longer fit a job. Now, drop a quick yes in the chat if this is somehow familiar in your organization, either the CFO breathing down your neck or the audience just not responding the way you need. So, how do you relieve that tension? On one side, leadership wants ROI proof, right? On the other side, audiences expect real relevance. This is exactly where personalized video comes in, because personalized video does two things at once, and you'll see an example in just a moment. First, it delivers contextual, relevant messages that make people stop, watch, and act. And second, it gives you hard ROI data you can show to your CFO or board, proving that your campaigns aren't just engaging, which is great. That's a great first step, but driving measurable business outcomes. In fact, at Pirsonal, we do this through a customer success plan, and I'll talk more about it later. Let me give you a concrete real-life example. A client of ours invested about $11,000 into their first personalized video campaign. And they have room for more campaigns throughout the year. In the following months, they'll actually be launching these campaigns. But in their case, each new client they closed was worth about $5,000 per year with an average lifetime value of 2 years. If we do the math, that's $10,000 per client. From just the first campaign, they closed 20 new clients. And that's $200,000 in value, which means an 18x ROI from that single campaign, for campaign number one. Now, let's project what happens when they repeat the process across audiences, or even when they improve the follow-up campaigns, which is something not many teams do and that I highly recommend. In fact, we positively push clients to that phase. If they close 40 new clients, that's $400,000 in value, 35x ROI. If they close 60 new clients, that's $600,000 in value, 53x ROI. And if they close 100 new clients, that's $1 million in value and 89x ROI. Now, I haven't spoken to their CFO, but in our clients' words, this campaign has already brought the return, like in terms of return of the investment, it has been substantial. So basically, her words, or the leader words, what were the return on terms of investment was pretty substantial. So while the CFO probably saw the ROI proof they needed, it's even something really cool happens, which is that the team behind this campaign, which by the way is not marketing, that's the average team behind personalized video, but it's not always marketing. And in this particular case, it proves that non-marketing teams can also do this. What they learned, they actually learned how to optimize, scale, and replicate the success across other touch points. Because in this case, we walk with them. That's our approach. It's not just the personalized video software. And that's the power of personalized video in 2026. It's not just about creativity or technology. I love those two words. I come from the advertising field. So those things are important, but it is about giving leadership the accountability they demand and giving your audience the context and recognition they crave. They crave. Quick check-in, drop a yes in the chat if you'd love to be able to show this kind of ROI math to your CFO or leadership team. That would be awesome, right? Wonderful. Before we dive into the trends, let's pause for a second, because some of you might be wondering, what exactly do we mean by personalized video? I know it is common for some of you, but I know it's going to be the first time for some of you as well. So for some people, the term still means putting a first name on a screen, something like, "Hi, Alex," or "Hi, John, here is your video." And yes, that's technically personalization, but it's the weakest form. When we talk about personalized video here at Pirsonal, we mean something much more powerful. An AI-powered personalized video is a video, and you'll see an example in just a moment, that adapts automatically to each individual viewer based on their data, their context, and their journeys, always on brand and done at scale. That means three things. It means that the text on screen changes based on the viewer's name, company, or location, regardless if you're talking about B2B, B2C, B2B2, B2B2C, it doesn't really matter. We're talking about people, right? Customers, employees, partners, doesn't matter. Second, the visuals adapt to their product, their segment, interest, and this is maybe images, video clips that change, audio that changes, all those things, again, at scale. And third, even the call to action inside of the video, the buttons they see, the links they click, everything can be tailored for what that person needs to do next. And that's key. In fact, personalized calls to action are about 200% more effective than generic calls to action. And we often see anything between 30 and 80% of viewers clicking in that in-video call to action, which is extremely powerful. And I have an example for you in just a moment. Think about it this way. Instead of sending one generic video to 10,000 people, customers, contacts, employees, your audience, you send 10 unique videos, each one crafted as if you had made them manually, like one by one for each contact, except you didn't, because the system did all this for you automatically and again at scale. This is why I often say marketing should be a conversation, not a broadcast. And personalized video marketing makes that conversation possible, one-to-one, even when we are working with, or when you're working with tens of thousands of contacts, millions of contacts, it doesn't really matter, whatever size of audience size you have. Let's see an example. I have a word that the audio doesn't seem to be on, so let me try again with the audio this time. For that, I'm going to take the video clip instead from here.
Hi, Alex. Life is an incredible journey, and your retirement is a destination worth preparing for. Join us as we equip you for the adventure of securing your financial future. Last year, you paid over €2,500. But where did that money go? The group also paid nearly €9,000, showing the power of collective saving. On the 30th of October 2023, your account value is over €300,000. You're on the right path. By age 68, you'll have saved over €1,500,000. But will you have enough to reach your destination? Remember, paying a little bit more will help you reach your destination safer. Think of it as investing in a more comfortable journey. Imagine how bright your future could become by simply increasing your contributions. Read your statement now to find out more and review your investments in your pension.
Awesome. So this is a personalized video example. This video is automatically created based on or using contact information. And this is an example of a year in review or even a monthly review, in this case, in the financial services industry. Now, what you just saw is a simple example, right? So notice how, for example, it speaks directly to the viewer, not to a generic audience. And this matters because, as you'll see in the trends section in just a moment, buyers and customers, even employees, your audience in 2026 are demanding relevance. But again, CFOs are demanding ROI. So again, there is a tension there. And personalized video is relieving that tension by connecting both worlds through the type of content we all pay attention to. So as you see, personalized video in the end sits right in at that intersection, gives your audience the relevance they expect, and it gives your leadership the ROI accountability they require. That's why, as we go through the trends today, you'll see personalized video not as one shiny tactic, but as the bridge between all these forces shaping marketing in 2026. Let's see how. Now that we have seen why personalized video delivers ROI, and as you can see here on my screen, it's not only about the video, you also have even the landing page on brand content and interaction, which is extremely effective and that you can actually track. You can know specifically who has seen what. You can know if John has seen the video. You can know if Martha have seen the video. If Brian, that is here on the stage, which we'll jump with the questions and answers in a few minutes section. By the way, if you have a question, feel free to ask it in the comment or in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. So basically, you can know it's not just about presenting the video to your audience, but it is also about understanding if these videos are having the impact you need them to have so that you can present that information to the leadership team. And for that, Pirsonal also provides all this information in an easy to consume way, easy to share way. All right. We do that through automated reports. We do that also through our people reports. You can see contact by contact, how each and every contact has interacted with the video, with the call to action, etc. And all these in an easy to understand way. So with all these, what matters is the following. You are building your 2026 marketing plan, right? But also you're probably being hit by trends, trend here, trend there, AI this, AI that, new channels, new formats, new tools. But here's the thing, not every trend will move the needle in your organization. Some will quietly drain your budget. Some will look impressive, but won't get you closer to revenue. So now that we have covered what a personalized video is, we have also gone through an example. I have shared a real life ROI example to help you also do the math. I'll cover another example in a moment. Also, you know what CFOs are demanding, what your audience is demanding. Let's zoom out at the bigger picture, right? I want to break it down clearly for you. Let's go through 4 AI-driven trends that matter today that are somehow connected to video personalization. We'll also cover 5 non-AI trends that are critical and 2 organizational shifts, let's say, that will shape how teams execute. And these are based on what we see among our clients here at Pirsonal. And here's the length I want you to use today, or the length we are using today. Each of these trends are connected directly to ROI, engagement, and budget accountability. Again, ROI, engagement, and budget accountability, because that's what matters at the end of the day, right? Let's start with AI. AI voiceover and cloning. So this technology, similar to what you just heard a moment ago in the video I shared with you, it lets you replicate voices or create localized audio at scale. For example, if your CEO needs to address thousands of employees worldwide or customers, if you have customers in different regions, Spanish, French, English, German, etc., cloning their voice with AI is extremely cost effective and even really fast. So right now, just for a few $100s, a few thousand, short thousands of them per year, you can have quality AI voices either with existing actors or, again, your leadership team or whoever, an influencer, etc., so that you can scale their voices and even personalize it. Just to give you some context, a few years ago, that was extremely expensive for even big brands. So anything around 60,000 US dollars just to do that, which is something you can do right now in no time. But here's the caution. Visuals drive higher engagement than audio. Again, visual drive higher engagement than audio. Data shows that around 80% of people watch without sound on social media. So if you put too much weight on audio personalization, projects slow down and costs go up without real ROI in many cases. So it really depends on your audience, the channel you're using, type of information you're sharing, and obviously the visuals. But again, if you have to prioritize visuals, which you can personalize at scale with Pirsonal as well. With our personal video software, you can add AI voices when they truly add value, but you don't need them to launch. The real driver of engagement is contextualized visuals and interactive calls to action that help people take action right away, and you can actually measure them. And that's where campaigns win. Second trend, AI scripting and storyboarding. And here's the trap. Many teams rely on AI tools to generate scripts without feeding them real context. The result usually is just generic, disconnected messages. At Pirsonal, we've learned that AI scripting only works when you preload it with your ideal customer profile, your ICP, insights, objections, customer voice, lifecycle data. That's hard work, but it's the difference between a flop and a high-performing campaign. Also, for example, at Pirsonal, we help you blend AI efficiency with strategy. So it's not just technology, it's again the AI efficiency with the strategy. Our clients often see better results with even a simple context-loaded script than flashy movie-like ones, because the messaging actually connects with the audience and personalization helps them better understand your value proposition so that they take action. Third trend, AI editing and content repurposing. AI editing tools have been around for a few years now. And with them, you can automatically edit or even create auto-generated short clips, swap backgrounds, or change languages, select specific sections of a video, even automatically. For example, even with Pirsonal, you can automatically detect audio patterns, and with that, automatically select sections. Even if you have like a 2 hours video, it doesn't really matter. Our platform handles all that for you. For lean teams, this creates speed and flexibility, but editing alone doesn't equal engagement. publishing irrelevant content faster doesn't help anyone. And we're talking about connecting with people, emotionally connecting with people. You can repurpose and localize assets quickly with Personal, but you can take it also, or even with any tool, and then load that content into Personal. But with Personal, you can layer personalization so that each version speaks directly to the viewer's context. And that's way more relevant, especially when we talk about one-to-one interactions at scale through email, SMS, CRM interactions, your own customer portal, etc. Fourth AI trend, and this is one of my favorite ones, is AI-triggered multi-channel workflows. And this is where it gets exciting, in my view, because imagine someone watches like the video I shared earlier, maybe 70% of a personalized video, and the Personal platform provides that information, but doesn't click in the video call to action. Instantly, an SMS is sent to that person, perhaps through your Salesforce or any tool you use, with a personalized link, and or maybe you instantly send an email that adapts to the behavior of that specific customer, contact, employee, etc. And this is basically AI meeting automation, and it's powerful. For example, with our widget, Personal widget, and with our interactive video player, Personal Player, which is focused on video personalization, you can actually do this because these are tools built for this. Basically, you can turn behavioral data into automated next steps across your website, email, SMS, CRM, onboarding workflows, and you can do all these in an automated fashion and at scale, regardless of where you present the video to this context. Together, these 4 AI trends show a clear pattern, at least through my lens. AI works best when it's paired with context and strategy. The winners in 2026 won't be the brands chasing every AI tool. They are just too many. It is exponentially even increasing right now. They'll be the ones aligning AI capabilities with business goals, personalization, and human insights. And that's what makes the difference. Now, let me cover 5 non-AI trends that matter in 2026. Not everything has to be AI. Some of the most impactful trends in 2026 are actually grounded in fundamentals. Let me start with the first one: customer lifecycle personalization. Things like renewals, onboarding, loyalty, all these generic touch points won't cut it anymore in 2026. Case in point, one organization swapped their static PDFs, their static impact report, for personalized videos created from a single spreadsheet. The results: 64% of viewers of contacts watched, 76% clicked, and over 100 videos were shared within the first hours of the campaign being launched. Sounds great, right? Especially when compared to PDFs. PDFs, personalized videos. Why? Because personalized videos are way more engaging and make it easier for people to understand the information within their context, because you can personalize that information based on what's relevant to that particular context, even from an storytelling perspective. Now, with our platform, Personal Video platform, you can automate these lifecycle touchpoints at scale, making personalization part of renewals, onboarding, loyalty programs, advocacy programs without the extra count. And my team and I are here to make that happen, to help you make that happen. Second trend: buying groups or buying group dynamics and CFO involvement. For example, today, anything between 6 and 10 stakeholders influence most B2B decisions. And something similar happens when we talk about B2B2C and B2C. And CFOs are now gatekeepers of budget approvals. One organization we worked with used personalized videos to re-engage employees who had been ignoring their benefits portal. The result, over 30% of previously disengaged employees took action after receiving their video. In fact, the campaign worked so well that the company decided to continue with the same in the following year. And in that very first year, it contributed to the best employee experience score in the company's history. So as you can see, it has a measurable or extremely positive impact. So how can you know this? In this case, that's extremely easy. Let's say with our easy reporting and analytics, with our automated reporting, you can either go through a website, through your user account, download information, see the graphs right from your browser, and all these give buying groups the evidence they need. Real numbers tied to real engagement. Plus, my team and I, again, work with yours, not only in terms of execution, but also in terms of strategy. Third trend, emotional and contextual marketing. So people ignore broadcast. They respond to recognition. Even ugly, quote unquote, videos win when they connect emotionally and contextually. And the reason why I know this is because I've been in this industry for more than 10 years. And Pirsonal is going to be, God willing, 8 years old. It's going to become 8 years old this very month. So we have seen loads of patterns. And what we have seen is that even extremely simple videos are going to outperform movie-like or Hollywood-like productions if the content is relevant. And the way you make that content relevant to the unique context. So how do you know that we are live? Because my internet connection went down. My Starlink went down. I see Brian laughing. That's good. Thank you for laughing. That makes me feel better about life at this specific moment. All right. Let's continue. Now this one. And I am going to share my screen again. Just give me a moment. And now that we are here, if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the chat or in the comment section. And Brian and I will take care of it in just a moment. Okay. All right. Fourth AI, non-AI trend, secure and compliant marketing. So compliance is now a gating factor. Many campaigns stall at procurement if security isn't airtight. And this is why at Pirsonal, we are also an ISO certified organization, ISO 27001. This is the global information security standard. You also get anonymized URLs by default and US EU data residency options. And this is why teams with strict compliance requirements choose us, because in the end, we accelerate approvals by solving security concerns upfront. And lastly, about the non-AI trends, Video, obviously, as the preferred format. So B2B buyers consume about 13 pieces of content before purchase. B2C buyers sometimes less or pieces, or sometimes more. It really depends on the industry and the type of product you're selling. Uh, but about 70% of people prefer video in general. Yet, most brands still send PDFs that get ignored, or emails that in the end are clutter, are dusty, quote unquote. With Personal, you can turn video into more than a format. It's basically, with personalization, video shifts from being consumed to being acted upon. And that's even more important than just having a video that looks great. You want people that, yes, watch the video, but that because they understood the message, because it's unique to their unique context, then they take action. And that's what makes the difference. Now, let me cover lastly about this section two hybrid and organizational trends. Number one, hybrid execution models. Teams are missing, are mixing in-house execution with trusted partners, and we see this more and more and more. In fact, Personal was built with this in mind. We let you create campaigns yourself, or hand us a base video and a spreadsheet, and we'll execute it in all time. You can also leverage our integrations with tools like HubSpot or Zapier, or use our API. Second trend, data-driven creativity. Again, context beats even super polished videos every time. Even visually speaking, simple videos can outperform movie-like productions when they are tied to specific KPIs, and that's what makes the difference. Obviously, if you have the budget, the time, etc., you can have a bigger production. That's perfectly fine. I'm not saying no to that, but only if it is aligned with your audience, with what they need in order to take action. If it obviously represents your brand, if you have the budget, if you have the time, and so on. Otherwise, simple will beat a super production almost every single time if the strategy, the content, the context, everything is in place. In fact, with Personal, with our platform, and with our professional services, we make sure that, or you make sure actually that creativity follows the strategy. We help you with that process. That's why clients often say strong product, stronger service. So, which trends matter in 2026? The ones that give you both relevance and ROI. And if you look closely, you'll see a common thread. They all point to personalized video as the bridge between your audience, their expectations, and leadership accountability. And that's an opportunity. Now, you've seen the trends shaping 2026. And obviously, we can have a super detailed all AI session another day. AI is everywhere. Buying groups are bigger. CFOs are gatekeepers. Compliance is tighter. And video continues to dominate. But here's the challenge. Trends don't pay the bills. What moves the needle is execution. And this is where personalized video with our company, with Personal, comes in. Because AI-powered personalized video brings all these trends together into one strategy if you have the right partner with you. Number one, AI efficiency with context. Number two, CFO ready proof. Number three, scalability without extra headcount. Number four, compliance built in, for example, with our ISO certification, ISO 27001, anonymized URLs, data residency options. Security compliance is actually a super double check. It is critical. And lastly, the emotional connection. Again, something as simple as a PDF or a generic email won't make it through 2026. They don't make people feel seen. Personalized video does. And when people feel seen, they take action. In other words, personalized video is not a shiny object. It's the bridge between the trends we've seen and the outcomes your leadership is asking for in 2026. And again, that's an opportunity. One of the questions I hear from marketing leaders is this: it all sounds great, but how do we make this scalable without adding more tools or headcount? And the truth is, you don't need a bigger team. You need a smarter workflow and a greater partner. Here's how the best teams we work with build scalable, personalized video campaigns. Number one, they start with strategy. Think about the most relevant KPI, business goals you want to target. Is it renewals? Is it a product launch? What numbers do you need to hit first? And be specific. Number two, select your existing data. This could be your CRM, maybe a marketing automation tool, or even a spreadsheet with a selection of contacts. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. Number three, they use one flexible template. In fact, with Pirsonal, you don't need to create 1,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 videos or 50,000 videos like one by one manually, or have a super complex system with different computers to do this. You design one template, or we do it for you. In fact, it is included with all of our plans, and the platform automatically adapts each version based on your data. Think about it as agents creating each video for you at scale. Therefore, you save loads of go-to-market time. Number four, they automate delivery. Video can be triggered from a CRM, from an email platform, even from a simple CSV. And we have more videos in our YouTube channel about this. Each video gets its own landing page, as you saw earlier, and a call to action, all personalized at scale, securely. And lastly, the best performing teams we work with, they track and act in real time. And this is where it gets powerful. You'll see who watched, who clicked, who shared. And you can trigger automated follow-ups from your own tools, like sending a reminder SMS if someone watched but didn't click, or routing hot leads directly to sales routing. Pirsonal provides the data to make this happen so that you can make it happen. So the key is that Pirsonal's video isn't just about creating content, it's about building a workflow that connects content, data, and automation so that every message adapts to your audience at scale, because you want to support their experience. You want to help them better understand the value proposition that best adapts to them so that they take action. That's the key. And that's the best way to serve them. This is why our clients often tell us that Pirsonal, in the end, saves them time, weeks, months, compared to trying to patch together different tools or multiple vendors. They have simplified tools that don't require IT involvement, plus expert assistance. In many cases, even their agencies paired up with us to help them succeed according to their particular goal and every time on brand, basically. Here's an example of a real-life automation workflow with video personalization. In this example here, let me make it bigger. In this example, you have three steps. The first one is, this is like an insurance renewal automation workflow with video personalization. And the goal here is to increase engagement by helping contacts understand hard, complex information so that they see the value in their current insurance policy. And because of that, they renew instead of going with a competitor. The first step here is when the renewal is about to take place, like the notification. The second step is the personalized video automatically created because the renewal, the policy renewal communication is about to be launched or sent to this contact. And the third one is what we all want to see, which is actually what you would see if the strategy is the right one, along with the scalability, which is a contact renewing their policy, their insurance policy, thanks to personalized video. And this can be applied to any industry, type of audience, type of workflow, or moment in the journey. Whenever you have complex information or information that you really need your your audience, your contacts to understand, then use video personalization so that you explain it to them using the power of multimedia communications, visual, audiovisual storytelling, and their data, so that they understand the message. And because they have understood the message, then they are prompt to take action. Okay, so to before we jump into the questions and answers, if you have them, feel free to ask them in the chat, regardless of the platform you are watching this from. I want to cover I want to cover maybe 3 pitfalls you should avoid in terms of video personalization in 2026, but also in your marketing life in 2026. For every personalized video campaign that succeeds, I've seen others stall or underperform, and it's almost never because the tool didn't work or the creative wasn't pretty enough. It's because 3 common pitfalls, and obviously there are more, but I need to summarize them in 3 today. Number 1, starting with the creative, not the goal. And this happens a lot. A team, for example, sees a competitor's campaign or a flashy demo and says, oh, we want something like that, or our CEO has requested us to do something like this. But they skip the most important question, which is, what do we want this campaign to achieve? Renewals, future adoption, net new pipeline, or employee advocacy, retention? I'll tell you from experience that even so-called simple or ugly videos or even mass productions, doesn't really matter. If they're tied to the right KPIs, and if they're there to support each and every contact's experience, their goals, then they're gonna be successful. But it all starts with the strategy, not the visuals. Pitfall number 2, treating personalization as a gimmick. So if your strategy is just adding hi first name at the start of the video, you might get a smile or 2, but it won't drive the real ROI we are talking about. Real personalization adapts the message, the visuals, even colors in some cases, images, audio, the different video clips. And super important, the call to action to the viewer's context. And that's when people take action. Pitfall number 3, leaving out key stakeholders, like basically out of the equation. Here's the reality. Personalized video marketing touches multiple teams. Marketing, obviously, in many cases, data, compliance, creative, even IT. If you don't bring them early in the conversation, at some point you'll hit a bottleneck later. But basically, it is just internal, whatever your internal culture is when embracing new projects that are exciting. Usually you will have more than one voice that wants to participate in different ways. And sometimes that can become a blocker. So it is important to have them on board from the beginning. I've seen campaigns get stuck in legal reviews, for example, for months, simply because security wasn't considered from day one. The good news is that these pitfalls are avoidable. For example, at Pirsonal, we guide teams through a simple customer success plan right from kickoff. It is a roadmap that defines the goals, the KPIs, the data flows, creative needs, and compliance requirements before you launch. Also, since our platform automatically creates these videos, landing pages, interactions, and hosts the videos, you don't need to deal with IT or web teams from your organization. And since we are an ISO 27001 certified organization and software, legal and compliance say yes sooner. So that way, you don't just get a great video. You get a campaign that moves your business forward, expertly guided by our team. So, all right, let's bring all this together before we jump into the questions and answers. We've talked about the trends shaping 2026, AI tools, personalization across the life cycle, compliance, and how buying groups now demand proof, not promises. We've looked at real ROI examples, like the campaign that turned $11,000 investment into over $200,000 in revenue, and obviously way more that is expected. and the membership organization where 26% of members took action after watching their personalized video. We've also seen how the most successful teams avoid pitfalls by focusing on goals first, treating personalization as context, not as gimmick, and all this aligned with the right stakeholders early in the conversation. So here are the key takeaways I want you to leave with today. Personalized video isn't a nice to have. In 2026, it's a tool that cuts through the noise, proves ROI, and gets your CFO to sign off. But here's the reality. Right now, we are in budget season. The decisions you and your leadership teams make in the next few weeks will shape the ability to engage customers, drive renewals, and prove ROI throughout all the next year. This is why we built Personal the way we did it. It's not just the software, it's flexible, ISO certified, and integrates with the tools you already use. But most importantly, you don't have to do it alone. My team and I walk with you from strategy to execution. So you don't have to, do it all by yourself. You don't only have like an AI powered personal video platform. You have a partner that is committed to help you succeed. So here's what I would like you to do right now. If you are even considering personalized video for 2026, book a call with me and my team. Let's talk through your goals, your data, your timeline. I'll promise to do my best, my very best, and the people that know us know that we do that a lot. At least we try to provide clear feedback and whether this is the right fit for you. So go to personal.com, personal with an I, personal.com/contact, and you'll find the web form, submit it, we'll get it back to you right away, actually, and we can start or continue the conversation. You'll find the link in the description of this video as well. Because in the end, teams who decide now will have a competitive edge next year. They'll launch campaigns faster, they'll win leadership buy-in earlier, and they'll see measurable ROI when it matters most. So thank you for your time. I'm here to answer any questions you have. So please drop them in the chat if you haven't, or in the comments in the comment section. And if you have already decided that personalized video is part of your 2026 plan, don't wait. Go to personal.com/contact. Again, personal with an I.com/contact, or click the link in the description of this video and let's set up a strategy call. We'll do our best to help, right? Brian, I'm going to let you in case we have questions. And
all right. Thank you so much, Josías, for that insightful things that you have shared today with our webinar. We have some questions here from Anne Dominic. Her first question is, how do you make sure this isn't just another hype tool? We've seen AI and video trends come and go.
That's a good question. That's exactly why I emphasize ROI benchmarks, not hype. And just to give you some context, or not you, but the rest of the people, the person that asked the question, or whoever, Personal has been around since year 2017. We're gonna become 8 years old this month in October. Personalized video has been around for even more years, and it is not about chasing trends. It's about connecting with people in their unique context. CFOs and boards don't sign off on hype, at least not anymore. They did that for maybe 2 years with all this AI revolution, and many are basically going back to the basics. And the basics are about connecting with people within their unique context. People are extremely busy, saturated. They don't pay attention, and they have more impacts like coming to them, attacking them, targeting them than ever before, especially in the digital world. So they need more relevance, and personalized video provides that. And the examples I covered earlier are proof of that. And we have seen many like that in the last few years. So leaders sign off on results. And that's what we focus on here at Personal.
Amazing. Here's another question from Anne. This all sounds great, but is personalized video only for huge enterprises with massive budgets?
um, no, actually no. So some of our most successful clients are lean teams. Some of them are part of small organizations. Some of them are part of mid-size organizations. And some of them are part of bigger organizations. But the common denominator across many of them are is that they are part of small or lean teams. For example, one of them launched their first campaign with just a spreadsheet and a base video from Canva, not even After Effects or any other professional video editing tool, which is 100% possible. But they use Canva. The cost in their case was under 6,000 US dollars. And they had about 70% of their audience engaged. So what
Mhm.
matters isn't size, it's clarity on goals, going back to the previous question, and
Mhm.
willingness to use the data they already have or the data you already have so that you can better serve your audience using the content they love at scale.
Amazing, amazing. So basically, we just need to use spreadsheet and Canva for this one, and it's ready to go, right, for all the templates, right?
That is correct. Or even if you have an integration, if you need an integration, which more often than not is not needed from day one, that's fine as well. So if there are companies that use HubSpot, we have an integration with HubSpot or Zapier or Mailchimp, or many organizations use our API. That's perfectly fine. But for the majority of teams, and we are seeing an increase, a trend that is increasing, is leveraging simple spreadsheets because they make life so much easier, especially internally on their end, because they remove approvals or even they don't need to get other teams in charge of the tools on board. They simply use what they already have, which is spreadsheets, for example. Not a requirement, but a recommendation in the majority of the cases.
That's great. So I also have few questions here for you, Joseas. Actually, I think these are most frequently asked questions for these kinds of platforms. Do we need a creative agency or a big in-house video team to make this work?
Not at all. That's one of the most common misconceptions. With Personal, I'm going to talk about obviously our experience or platform.
Mm-hmm.
With Personal, you can start with any base video, even one you already have, and our software automatically personalizes it at scale. And if you want, my team can take care of all the creative details, or we can partner with the client's agency, with your agency. That flexibility is what, at the end of the day, helps teams move fast without internal or even external bottlenecks. They can do it on their own, or we can do it with or for them.
Amazing. That's just amazing. And for those who have their CRM tools, how hard is it to integrate with our existing tools like HubSpot or Salesforce?
It's very simple. Many teams, let me go back. So many teams often realize they don't need an integration with their current CRMs or marketing tools because this tends to slow them down internally because of approvals. They find it easy and way faster to simply use our campaign tool that helps them use the spreadsheets. You don't need
Mhm.
approvals, let's say internally, to use the spreadsheets. They can simply download the data they have and upload it to the platform. And even my team can take care of all that on their behalf. But Personal integrates directly with tools like HubSpot, Zapier, MailChimp. And through our API, you can connect tools like Salesforce, Marketo, or even any custom CRM or API database, etc. But again, many of our clients start with a spreadsheet, upload it into the platform, and later automate with their CRM once they see results. So you don't need, again, IT bottlenecks to get it started. We're trying to remove those so that you can prove results faster and engage with your audience also faster.
That's amazing. So this seems so easy and so accessible. And there's a question. I have a question here. What if leadership worries about the security and the compliance of this one?
That's a big one. So many projects start right here. Pirsonal is ISO 27001 certified. That's the international standard, the framework for information security. We also offer, or you also get the EU, Europe, and US data residency options, anonymized URLs. We support instant data deletion, even custom environments, custom servers, etc. Many video hosting options. So this makes it easier for your compliance or procurement teams to approve projects, which means you can launch campaigns faster.
Amazing, amazing. And for those who have tried video before, for their engagement and their engagement drops quickly, what is the difference with this one?
Um, Generic video is like shouting into the void. Personalized video speaks directly to the viewer's context, and I've mentioned that word a lot because it is key. That's why we've seen adoption rates triple, and even so-called simple ugly videos. It's not doesn't mean that you have to make those. What I'm trying to say with this is that many teams just want something fast that adapts to the context, their context, and they can do that without going through months of video production, etc., like movie-like, etc. So it's not about how pretty a video is; it's about being relevant. And with the right strategy and execution, this is 100% possible. And at Personal, we also provide one-to-one consulting sessions to clients. So all this make it a lot easier for them.
Yes, and for those who have thousands of customers across different segments, how is this even scalable?
Yes, yes. So Personal was built for a skill. Whether it's 500 videos, which some platforms do not support, that's considered too little. We don't care about the size of the audience. We care about helping you serve your audience, little or huge. So 500 videos or 500,000 videos or a million videos, the platform can handle it. For example, one client had capacity for 500 or has capacity for 5,000, no, 50,000 personalized videos per year, personalized contacts usually per year. And with automation, they reach, in fact, multiple tough to engage audiences under the same subscription. That's scale without the extra headcount, regardless of the size of your audience. So it is 100% up to you.
Amazing. You have mentioned that you can produce thousands of videos for this one, right?
Mhm.
That's so fast. But there's a question. I have a question also here about how fast can we actually launch a campaign for let's say a campaign that is coming. How much time do we need to spend for this one?
Hmm. Faster than most teams expect. So if you already have a base video and data, campaigns can go live in under 48, 72 hours. But at the same time, an average team, like a team starting fresh, their average is going to be anything between 30 and perhaps 60 days to launch a pilot or even a full scale campaign. And we guide them through every step to avoid delays and to help them get to their specific goals, campaign launch, etc., etc. But a piece of advice there would be, or something to take into account, is that for many teams this is going to be their first time, which is perfectly
Mm.
fine. And because it is their first time, they often have more conversations internally, especially about the creative part, than what they would usually have for other pieces of content. And that's what usually makes it like shorter or longer depending on your um, internal rhythm, let's say. But with our advice, with our guidance, even with our professional services, we relieve you from that pain, let's say, as well, by executing with you or for you, so that you also save time and get there on time.
You have mentioned that it can be done for an average of 30 to 60 days for a campaign, meaning to say we can launch this within this year if they have a campaign that is coming, right?
Absolutely, yes. So yeah, so around this same time of the year, Q4, many companies do things like year in review communications, employee communications, special announcements,
Mhm.
obviously things like Christmas, etc. So if you have important messages to share with your audience, if you have, that could be helping employees, for instance, understand their benefits, so that they keep enrolling on time, and the number of questions decreases. Or that could be customers that need to understand the value your organization has provided this year, and instead of just sending a PDF they will not read for a year in review communication, instead use video that does a better job at communicating the value proposition, also through the lens, let's say, of the contact, so that they can understand the specific value you have provided to their lives this year. So those are common communications around this season of the year, and there is still room, there is still time, and we help you with execution, which helps you save lots of time, because you don't have to be an expert, or your agency doesn't have to be they don't have to be experts. We walk with them as well.
Amazing, amazing. You have also mentioned about PDFs. Is this really more effective than sending emails or PDF to the clients?
Absolutely. So an example, I think yeah, I mentioned, is this membership organization. We worked. They swapped a PDF report for personalized video, and the results were they got 60. I mean, still live. I don't know the numbers now, but last time I checked, 64% of their contacts watched, 76% clicked to act, and over 100 members shared their video publicly in just hours. Compare that to a static PDF, which often sits unopened, and the
Yeah,
difference will be extremely obvious.
yeah, yeah. That's amazing. And what's the best way to get started if we are not sure if this is the right fit for their program?
The best way is a conversation. Start with one pilot,
Mm-hmm.
pick one single use case, and try to do everything at once. Onboarding, renewals, lead nurturing, and let's build a campaign together, small campaign. Usually we recommend about 10 to 15% of the size of your audience, obviously depending on the size of the audience. But if what you want to see is ROI proof, the goal isn't perfection, quote unquote. It needs to be on brand, it needs to be great, it needs to be good, it needs to be appealing. All those things need to be in place. But for example, instead of with an integration, you start with a simple spreadsheet, which you can, either your team or my team can upload to the platform, and you can have them in no time. The goal is proving ROI fast, so that you can decide with confidence whether to scale and when to scale. And my team and I will help you every step of the way.
Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you so much, Joseas, for those insights and for answering all our questions. And for all those who have more questions, you can post them at the comment section wherever you are right now. And we will be getting back to you for those questions. And feel free to message us. Joseas?
I have one question for you, Brian.
What's that?
When are you going to play the piano for us? I have the drums here, the drum set here. Well, that's it for all of you. Thank you for your time. Again, any questions? We are more than happy to help. We are way more than just the probably the most flexible personal video software. We are a partner that is here to help you succeed based on your goals. And if you have any questions, any comments, use the chat or the comment section. And if you want even more detailed information, go to personal.com/contact. And again, my team and I will do our very best to help you with this. All right. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.